The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hit your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let the ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Game Week 14 deadline stream, the first midweek of the season. Is this the first midweek game week? It might be the second one. Anyway, it's Tuesday. We got a Game Week 14 deadline. We've got another deadline on Saturday. The game weeks are coming thick and fast. We've had no update about Thiago. Sarr is out for 2 weeks, or 2 game weeks at least, maybe longer. He's definitely a sell. Saliba is a matter of days. Might start Brentford, probably won't. And that's about it. I'm going to do Paquetá to Minte, and I've currently got the captain's armband on Fernandes, but I think I've got a pretty... I think I'm pretty likely to switch it back to Haaland. I'm really not sure if I can go through with Fernandes captain. Hang on 2 seconds. Pope is also out for 3 weeks, yeah. 4 p.m. and you're calling it evening. Close enough. It's late afternoon, early evening. It's probably more late afternoon than early evening, but still. Good afternoon, everybody. Enzo and Sarr, questions are in already. Enzo and Sarr to Bruno and Minte for one hit is a no, right? I mean, you could just do... Yeah, I probably wouldn't take a hit. You could just do Sarr to Minte, unless you're absolutely certain you want to captain Bruno. Any chance Sarr plays tomorrow? Doesn't sound like it. -4 to transfer Sarr, Caicedo out, or play Reece James. Reece James is probably not going to start, so in that case, I'd probably take a -4. 2 free transfers, Sarr to Minte, or João Pedro and Sarr to Guiu and Bruno. João Pedro will probably start. It's hard to know, really. I guess I would just do Sarr to Minte, but the second move, you've got to get your transfers used soon. So the second move to structure yourself nicely going forward, I quite like, to be honest. I'd be tempted to get Bruno. It depends who you're playing instead of João Pedro, I guess. Rodgers to Bruno Fernandes for a hit, probably not. Gakpo or Haaland captain. Haaland, Cherky starts. Presumably he will, but who knows for sure, right? Everyone thought he was going to start last week and he didn't. It's okay to say evening, it's pitch black outside. True. I think you should captain Bruno to push into the top 1k. Yeah. I mean, that's all well and good as long as Bruno does well, right? He might not. As a Bruno enthusiast, you've surely got to captain him. This is my first time owning him. He's got the armband, also projected the most points. I mean, it is West Ham. It is West Ham. I mean, captaining Haaland or not is the difference between whether I watch City or not. Basically, like if I don't captain Haaland, I'm going to be watching Dewsbury Hall against Bournemouth. Enzo to Foden, 1 free transfer. I don't think you necessarily need to go out of your way to... I'm going to say yes because transfers have got to be used, basically. If we didn't have 5 free transfers coming up, I'd probably say hold. Chalobah or O'Reilly, probably O'Reilly. 2 free transfers, Saliba and Gakpo to Nico Williams and Bruno, or Semenyo and Calafiori. The Bruno, but probably not Nico Williams. Isn't he on 4 yellow cards? Am I still planning to get Minte? Yes. Bruno and Anderson, or Anderson and João Bruno and Anderson. Is it too late to play wildcard this week given price changes? Your team either needs a wildcard or it doesn't. Don't worry about missing price. Like, if your team desperately needs a wildcard, don't worry about the prices you've missed. Because chances are, if you want those players and you think they're good going forward, they're going to continue to go up, right? I did Semenyo and Mateta to Bruno and Welbeck for a -4. I had to transfer out Mateta for Bruno funds. Is that a good hit to take? Put it this way. If you had said to me, I'm going to do Semenyo and Mateta to Bruno and Welbeck for a -4, what do you think? I would have said, don't take that hit. So I don't want to make you feel bad about taking the hit. But I don't think I would have done that. I mean, is Welbeck guaranteed to start? I don't think so. Neil, new member, thank you. Any insights on whether Evan Nilsson starts? I don't know, but presumably he will. Limited funds, reckon Dallo starts next 2. I reckon he starts next 1. Who knows, game week 15. Could Dorgu come back in at some point, potentially? 1 free transfer and only James on the bench. Senesi to Chow / O'Reilly and start Bowen. I mean, starting Bowen is fine, right? Or Senesi and Sarr to Timber and Anderson -4. I wouldn't take a hit to bench Bowen. I'd just play him. Who between João Pedro, Grealish, Doku can be rotated? João Pedro and Doku. Grealish probably won't get rotated, but I think they'll all start, if that helps. But again, as people are going to continually point out, I also thought Salah was going to start last week, and look what happened. But yeah, I think João Pedro will start. Semenyo to Bruno, captain -4 will be priced out. If that's your only route to get him, sure, but there's always an opportunity to grab him next week for someone else, or game week 16 with free transfers. But I guess you kind of want him for West Ham and Wolves if you're going to bring him in. I honestly, I love the fact that people are now captaining. There's people captaining Bruno who not too long ago have probably called him a defensive midfielder. Now we're taking hits for him, all because he got 11 points or whatever it was last week. What if he'd blanked against Palace? Would you still want to take a -4 for him? I'm not sure you would. I have sold Sarr for Bruno Guimaraes. I'm tempted to take a hit selling Bowen for Voltemada. What do you reckon? I would just play Bowen. Senesi to Hincapié, and bench Nunez. Sure, yeah. 2 free transfers, unless you've got something better to do next week. I'm feeling great about my team, but I'm free hitting next week, so I might burn a transfer. Hub suggests Vardy to O'Reilly. Is burning bad? Burning's not bad if you literally have nothing to do. Like, Vardy is probably better for minutes than O'Reilly, but it's not really looked that way recently. They've looked quite similar, right? And O'Reilly's cheaper, so does that free up any money for you? I mean, personally, if they're both going to keep starting, O'Reilly is better than Vardy, I think. But if you're not convinced about that move, burning a transfer is fine. But you really have nothing to do. Is Munoz a genuine captain option this week? I mean, he's not better than Haaland, is he? I mean, sure, for a defender, yes, but I don't think he's better than Haaland. João Pedro and Reinders for Enzo, Thiago for a hit. I'm not convinced I'd be taking a hit to bring in a forward that's about to play Arsenal away. Even if it does allow you to get rid of Reinders. You've been sleeping on Delict. Man United don't really keep clean sheets, though. But you never know. this week. Could happen. Next week, maybe. If Dewsbury Hall returns 6+ here, the wall is a lock. Yeah, probably. Sold Senesi / Shah to Kukurea, Dewsbury Hall. Thoughts? Probably fine. I think Dewsbury Hall is good. Gay missing out, or Ejusagana Gay missing out is not ideal, I don't think. Dewsbury Hall could play deeper at times. But he's still going to be nailed and still going to play good minutes. So I just wonder whether Anderson is better than Dewsbury Hall. I don't know. It's pretty close. You save money with Dewsbury Hall, though. At this point, if you haven't made the transfer, it's actually 0.5 million cheaper. So why have we got a Christmas jumper on? Why not? Sarah and Reinders to Bruno and 6.4 mid. Who's best 6.4 under? I would go Minte. Oh, or just Sarr to Saka and start Thiago Reinders. I quite like the Bruno move. If it's for free, for sure. I'd go Minte. What do you think about Mount's minutes to replace Sarr? Just not good enough. Like, he's just played 90, which obviously is encouraging, but it's the first time he's played 90 minutes for quite a while, which just tells you what his minutes are generally like. So I just wouldn't go there. I know it's a really good fixture this week. It's a really good fixture next week. 2 starts for Mount could happen, but I just wouldn't bother messing around with that. I feel like Mount is a guaranteed transfer fairly soon. Senesi to Chow and play Thiago / Njai, or Njai to Minte Anderson and play Ballard. I know it's Liverpool, but that guy is a bit of a machine when it comes to set pieces and stuff. I think I'd rather get Chow and play Njai or Thiago, to be honest. De Ligt might header a goal ran. Yeah, De Ligt's fine this week, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's a great long-term pick. Man United defence is pretty awful. Barnes or Elliot Anderson. Barnes has Burnley next. Yeah, but Barnes' minutes are not guaranteed. Like, he's obviously playing well, but he might not even start this week. So I would just get Elliot Anderson. And if he doesn't start this week, he'll probably start against Burnley, but you'll still be panicking about it. Sarr and Cavalier into Foden, Guiu, 2 free transfers. I mean, that sounds quite good to me, yeah. Like, put it this way, I've got Guiu, and at no point really have I been massively worried about it. Obviously, this week it doesn't look great because Senesi went and got suspended, but at no point have I thought I really want 3 forwards. Like, okay, Haaland, Mateta, Thiago a couple of weeks ago looked great, and now I think people after Burnley are going to be way more worried about Mateta. Thiago's got Arsenal anyway, so I still don't foresee myself caring about having 3 forwards, so I still quite like the Guiu structure personally, but obviously it is personal preference. Need Arsenal defender, can't afford Timber. Thoughts? Maybe just risking Capier because he's cheap at 5.4, but Calafiori should start most games, I would say. Calafiori is probably the long-term move. And Capier's fine until Gabriel's back, and Arteta said that it was going to be a matter of weeks for Gabriel. What do you think about Bruno Guimaraes? He's got good underlying data for DEFCONs and attack and returns. I would say he's got okay underlying data for DEFCONs and attack and returns, not good. I would definitely get Minte over Bruno Guimaraes, I think. I'm not fully convinced that Bruno Guimaraes is worth 1.3 million over Anderson. Anderson's much better for DEFCONs, and Bruno's attacking threat is slightly better, but it's not miles ahead. Again, I think, look, it's Spurs at home and Burnley at home, so there's every reason to bring him in, but this does smell of he's got good points recently, and now he's being talked about a lot. Like, it's not like his data is suddenly improved, he just happens to have got the returns recently. Eze to Bruno, worth it. No other Man United. I mean, Bruno's a much better long-term pick than Eze, in my opinion. Do you see a risk of Foden getting a rest? I mean, what can I say? He started every game since game week 4. Could he get rested? Of course. The thing is, most players could probably get rested over Christmas. Like, if you showed me that, like, let's say I didn't know his name was Foden. You showed me that a player has started every game since game week 4. I didn't know it was Foden. I'd probably guess that they're going to keep starting. Does that mean he'll never be benched? Of course not. Who should I start? Thiago or Anderson? Probably Thiago or Rodon, or probably Thiago. And in Burma, captain as a differential. I mean, I don't hate it, but I prefer Haaland for sure. Bench 1, Burn or Dewsbury Hall. I don't know, actually. Spurs at home, not bad. I'd probably bench Burn. But it's quite close. It's quite close. Eze transferring instead. There's no way I'd be buying Eze right now. I think that boat has fully been missed, to be honest with you. I think João Pedro will start, yeah. But it's midweek, right? Marco, thank you. Virgil, Timber, Cucurella, Lacroix, my defence, any change? Looks pretty good to me. Senesi to Timber or Kudus to Foden? That's a tricky one. Really tricky one. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Do you need Kudus this week? Newcastle, it's not great anyway. If to me, it makes more sense to sell the guy that's suspended, but Kudus is also pretty rubbish, I think. I guess I'd do the Foden move. If you had one choice to bring in, who would you bring in? Anderson or Vandenberg? Well, Anderson's much better the next couple of game weeks. Tempted to start Xhaka over Thiago. I probably wouldn't do that personally, even though it's a terrible fixture for Thiago. Moro, 20 months, play Thiago, Potts, Tuanzebe or King, Thiago. I'm sure I missed... No, I don't think I missed anything. Oh, I wildcard in 14, so that's why I have nothing to do. Fair enough. I'm not sure what that refers to be honest. Can you explain effective ownership? It's basically the percentage of people that own a player and then adding the percentage of people that captain that player. So if the whole game owned Haaland, he'd be 100% ownership. And if every single one of those owners captained him, it'd be 200% ownership. Effective ownership. Yeah. Sarr and Calvert-Lewin to Foden, Guiu, 2-3. Oh, I did that one. I don't think I've missed any super chats and stuff. There's been quite a few already. Why did you not look at Konza? The fixtures are rubbish. He's not very good for DEFCONs. He doesn't have like great goal threat. I mean, he can score, of course, but it's not exceptional. So he's just all round a pretty rubbish pick. Senesi to O'Reilly, too risky if I'm starting. Richards, Anderson and Rode on the defenders on my bench. Well, I mean, Anderson's my first sub. Like, it is what it is, right? If you want Nico O'Reilly anyway, just get him this week. Gakpo or Anderson for Sarr. I mean, Gakpo's the more interesting pick, right? But are you prepared to put up with a few benchings over the next 6 to 8 weeks? Anderson also frees up more money. I mean, I have looked at Paquetá to Anderson instead of Minte, but I'm still not quite sure what I need the money for. And it's okay just to have money in the bank for a rainy day, but I struggle when I don't know what I'm going to use the cash for. Like, if I thought that Anderson was just as good as Minte, I'd go for the cheaper player and just hold the money for a bit. But anyway, that's a side note. That's my thoughts. Yeah, I'd probably go Anderson. I think Gakpo will start this week, though. It's just how many other times will he start over Christmas? I don't know. What do you think about captaining Mateta? I think Mateta will start, but I'm not anywhere near confident in his minutes to warrant going there for a captain. I want to be a lot more sure about it, basically, even though it's a great fixture. Who should I start? Burn and Van der Ven. Dan Burns at home. Njai to Foden or Senesi to Timber. Yeah, I just kind of answered the Foden. I mean, in your case, Njai's probably okay to play this week, so maybe the maybe the Timber move instead. Like, there's not... Whether you bring in Timber or Foden first, there's not really a right or wrong. It really depends on what your other moves are going to be over the next couple of weeks, etc. Like one of them is a defender, one's a midfielder. If you get one, does that block the other one? If so, which one do you prefer long term, etc. If you go for Timber, what midfielder are you going to buy later? If you go for Foden, what defender, etc. You got to think about all these things. I sent a chat earlier about burning a transfer and asked if I really had nothing to do. Okay, sorry, got it. As it stands, I don't know if Vardiol is much, much safer for minutes than O'Reilly. And Ain't Nuri will go to AFCON soon. So O'Reilly saves you money. He's more attacking. I'd be a little bit tempted to do it, but at the same time, Vardiol could start tonight and O'Reilly might not. I think O'Reilly will, for what it's worth, but that's just what you get yourself into with Man City players. So if you've literally got nothing to do because you've just wildcarded, I think it's fine to burn if you want to keep Vardiol. There will be some people that burn transfers next week because they just don't have anything they want to do. Like you can, like it doesn't happen that often. It really doesn't. But you can get yourself into a situation where making a move is just worse for your team. Like I haven't like got my whole plan in place for the next 10 game weeks, but I have looked at, okay, 15 get Vandenberg, so game week 16 I can take a 1 week punt on Minte out for Utara, then game week 17 I get Minte back, etc. But there are some weeks where I look at my team and I've got 5 free transfer, and it's FPL, so stuff will just happen, right? Players will get injured and suspended, and there'll be plenty of moves to make, I'm sure. But let's say everything went really smooth and there was no injuries, no suspensions for my team. There are game weeks I get to, and I think there's not really a move here. Even to the point that there's not really a move where I can set up for the next week, because the next week I've got 5 transfers anyway, and that player's not actually that great. So there will be some people that have to burn transfers soon, and it's fine. As long as it's a genuine case where you've got nothing you want to do, or can do. Need your thoughts, please. 2 free transfers, Senesi and Sarr can do Timber Anderson or Chow Minte, and Van Dijk to Timber for a -4. Van Dijk, come on. -4, no way. Senesi and Sarr can do Timber Anderson or Chow Minte. Timber Anderson, I think, on that one. Apologies for missing it. Still stuck with Reinders. Should I transfer him for Anderson for a free transfer, or should I just keep and start him? I'd probably just sell him. You're going to have this headache of whether he's going to start every single week. He's just not a good pick. Thoughts on Alisson as a Pope replacement? I don't hate him. I just don't trust Alisson to stay fully fit, which always sounds stupid for a goalkeeper. He's fine if you want to go for it. I quite like Verbruggen, honestly, and just save yourself a lot of money. Like, he's just 4.4 million. He's so cheap. The fixtures for a long time are pretty good. Like, they're not perfect. There are a couple of horrible away games, but even then, Dubravka's got okay fixtures. Sarr to Foden or Salah to Saka Bruno for a -4. Ooh. Sarr to Foden probably and not take the hit. Senesi to Munoz for a -4. Is it worth it? I have Richards and Thiago starting with only Rodon on the bench. But if I do that, then I bench Richards or Thiago. No, I probably wouldn't take the -4. Start Dorgu over Van der Ven. I probably wouldn't. There's no guarantee Dorgu starts. It'll probably be Dallo. Opinion on Yeremy Pino. Now that Sarr is injured, he should get more minutes, or safer choice Anderson from Forest. Yeah, I mean, Pino's minutes should be pretty good. It's worth saying, after Burnley, it's Fulham away, Man City at home. The fixtures are not great. So, I don't know. I've said this a few times. Like, we've got, not necessarily in this stream, but we've got 5 free transfers. So if you get stuck, you're going to have the moves to sell players that were like a mistake or are not doing too good. But I still think you want to consider long-term picks as well. Because ultimately, you might say, I'm going to bring this player in, I'll sell them in this week, and that's fine, I've got loads of transfers. But you might get stuck doing other stuff. I just think Elliot Anderson, I don't want to big him up too much, because it's almost getting to the point now where he's being talked about as if he's essential, which is obviously far from the case. But he does just seem like a really nice pick over Christmas that you know is going to play every game. Like, could he get rested in one game just because it's Christmas? Yeah, maybe. But he's probably going to play every game. He's amazing for DEFCONs. He's one of the best players in FPL for DEFCONs. He's got a bit of attacking threat. And there is a slight chance at some point you could get a penalty from him. I think you've got to get pretty perfect circumstances for that to happen. But I do think there's a chance Anderson will be ahead of Gibbs-White on penalties. I just don't think he'll be ahead of Igor Jesus or Chris Wood. But we don't know, right? Gibbs-White missed, Anderson scored. But when Anderson scored, Gibbs-White wasn't on the pitch. We don't know. Minte or O'Reilly, who to prioritise this week? Probably Minte and get O'Reilly next week instead. Minte Semenyo to Foden game week... Oh. Minte Semenyo to Foden game week 15 or Anderson Enzo to Foden? I'm so confused why there's 2 players involved in this. I mean, I'd probably rather sell Enzo, I guess. I don't know what Anderson's got to do with it. I'm not quite sure what you're asking, if I'm honest. Would you do Sarr to Foden and Njai to Rice for a -4? I would just do Sarr to Foden. Honestly, you've got to have a really, really, really good reason to take a -4 when we've got 5 free transfers in 2 game weeks' time. Start Calvert-Lewin, Xhaka or Anderson, Fulham. Who have Leeds got? Oh, home. He's not been starting though, has he? I'd start Calvert-Lewin and hope he starts. If you're on 202k, will you take a -8 to... Your rank probably at this point shouldn't dictate what you do. But a -8 to bring in Bruno for Caicedo and downgrade Voltemade. I mean, Voltemade's a good pick this week, right? So probably not. A -8 to get rid of Voltemade, who's okay this week. I do think there's an outside chance Voltemade's bench, but given he got a rest recently, I don't think it will happen. Thoughts on the Dodgems on Weston-super-Mare Pier? Never used them. Did we get any news on Sarr or Saliba? Saliba apparently is a matter of days until he returns, so he might be okay for 14, but I suspect he'll get saved. I'm not convinced he's going to start, basically. I think he might get saved for Villa. And then Sarr's out for the next couple of game weeks, maybe longer. And 19 months, by the way, Marco, thank you. What game week would you use the free hit if you still had it specifically with 5 free transfers in game week 16? Does it make it less effective? I wouldn't say it makes it less effective, really. If I still had it, I don't know, any of the next few weeks, I don't know. I genuinely don't know when I would use it. Because the problem is, I specifically made transfers with free hit 13 in mind. Like, if I wasn't, I know I didn't activate it straight away, but I was pretty sure I was going to do it. If I wanted to leave the option open, for example, I would not have done Semenyo to Cunha. So I don't know when I would free hit. 15 maybe. I mean, my team's still going to look, as long as everyone's still playing, my team's going to look good in 16, so maybe 15. But it's hard to know because I've not planned for it. Senesi to Nkapie and bench Nunez, or Njai/Enzo to Rice Minte. Which one out and which one in? I don't know if I would go as far as say Nkapie's absolutely nailed until Gabriel's back, but it does look like that could be the way. I would probably just do the Senesi to Nkapie move, to be honest. As a Leeds fan, I think Calvert-Lewin will start. We look much better with 2 up top. There you go, then. I'd probably start him. If you use free hit in 16, you might miss a lot of price changes. Yeah, sure. But, I mean, again, how many... People keep saying that, right? And there is probably some truth to it. But I don't think everyone's just going to blow 3 to 5 transfers. I think it's going to be like 1 to 2. So if you see a bunch of players changing in price, are you suddenly going to make loads more transfers? Probably not. I mean, maybe it might push you into some. I do wonder, they're probably not going to do this because if they were, they probably would have already announced it. But I do wonder if they might not freeze price changes, but might alter how they work a bit for game week 16. Because it is a bit mad just to give everyone 5 transfers and just leave it as it is. You know? I feel like they should slow the price changes down for game week 16. They probably won't, but I think that's what they should do. Paul, 33 months, thank you. Take out Pope for a -4 or play Dubravka and wait for 16. I'd probably just play Dubravka and not take the -4, but I get it's an annoying situation. I'm thinking about Senesi/Sarr to either Calafiori and Anderson or Van Heck and Rice. Maybe the first one is logical, but maybe the higher ceiling on the first. So the first one's more logical and a higher ceiling. I mean, I would probably just go Calafiori and Alisson either way. Best 5.7 midfielder, probably Anderson or Dewsbury Hall. Semenyo or Bruno, captain. Bruno. Get Raya and Minte or Gakpo and Verbruggen this week. Raya and Minte. 2 free transfers. Would you do Senesi, Sarr and Enzo to O'Reilly, Foden and Anderson -4? I think Enzo out for a -4 is not great necessarily. Like, you could just do the other 2 moves and just leave Enzo in against Leeds and then do the Enzo to Foden move next week. I think I'd prefer that. But I don't hate it overall. Senesi, Reinders to Richards, Anderson or Lacroix, Dewsbury Hall. Well, I'm going to say Lacroix, Dewsbury Hall because that's what I've got. But also, I think if any defender gets benched for Palace this week, it's Richards. You misunderstood. Yeah, I meant Minte or Anderson this week determines Semenyo or Enzo for Foden next week. Okay. I still don't get it. Yeah. These are the kind of questions I'm just never going to process properly, if I'm honest. And now I've lost your message where you tried to clarify, so I'm not really sure what you meant. I went back to look at your super chat, and now I've lost your original message. So I'm still not convinced. Something about if you go one, it means you get the other one, or yeah, I still don't know. Oh, okay. If you get Minte, it's Semenyo to Foden. If you get Anderson, it's Enzo to Foden. Right, okay, I've got it, I think. I get Anderson, I think, in that case. 1 free transfer and 0.2 in the bank with Sark, Caicedo and Senesi bench. Anderson and Reece James in my 11 as it stands. What would you do? Wildcard? I mean, you've got a wildcard scenario. I'd probably take some hits because you've got 1, 2, 3. James is probably not going to start. I think you've got 4 non-starters in Anderson versus City. So I would think about maybe some hits or wildcard if you've got it. Am I sure Saliba will be rested? No. If you knew Cunha would play 20 minutes off the bench, would you still start him or start Anderson? I'd probably play Anderson. I mean, to be honest, there would be a temptation just to do Cunha to Foden and just play Anderson instead of Paquetá. But I'm gonna hope that Cunha starts. But yeah, it's tricky to know. I mean, I'm really not. I don't know. I don't know. I've just got a feeling it could happen. He could start, but who knows until we hear from Amrim. The thing is, Amrim's not going to say tomorrow Cunha's going to start. He's just going to tell us if he's back now. Thanks for all the lovely comments about the sweater. I will say, I'm freaking roasting already, and we've got an hour and a half to go. I forget how much warmer these kind of jumpers are compared to the normal ones I wear. So I'm slightly regretting putting it on. Start Alderete or take a -4 to buy Chow. A -4. One thing I didn't check, did Alderete start the last game? I know they're probably going to play a back 5 this week. I believe they've been playing a back 4. Yeah, Alderete's back in the team. I'd probably just play Alderete. Benching headache, Minte, Tarkowski or Enzo. I'd bench Tarkowski. Am I an idiot for buying Welbeck? I would never call you an idiot, no. I don't know if he'll start, though. If he's going to get rested, this is the game, right? But hopefully he'll start. Is Kadioglu a good option for the next 2 weeks? I mean, sure, if he starts both games. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure whether there's a high chance of that happening or not. Oh, hang on a sec. Wait. Is Kadioglu a good option for the next 2 weeks? Sorry, I think he started every game pretty much for ages. Who am I thinking of? Am I thinking of De Kuiper? There's a Brighton player people have been talking about this week. I think it's De Kuiper. I think it's De Kuiper that people have been... Oh, yes, because he's playing in a much more advanced position. I would probably just get Van Heck. I'm mixing up Kadioglu and De Kuiper. I would just get Van Heck if you want a defender, honestly. Just a bit safer. But I mean, looking at Kadioglu's minutes, I mean, I guess fine, yeah? Unless a Brighton fan can tell me he's going to come out of the team. Nico Williams, Forest, Delict, Man United, Chow, Newcastle to start. 2 to start. I would bench Nico Williams pretty easily, I think, out of them. Sarr to Anderson. Marino to Foden, worth a -4. See, Marino, I don't think Marino's going to start. I think Yorkresh is going to come in. Can you do... Oh, yeah. I'd be tempted to take that hit in that case. It's a weird week because I genuinely believe you should be really careful about taking hits when you got 5 free transfers to come. But it does also feel like there's a lot of hits that feel okay. I'm hearing Raya may be benched. I mean, I highly doubt that. What's the goalkeeper being rested for? I know Sanchez got a bit of a rest under Maresca last year, but I think resting goalkeepers is, as Sean Dyche would say, utter woke nonsense. Goalkeepers don't need a rest, surely. Raya doesn't have to do anything. Is Gakpo a good shot? I mean, it is if he starts. Start Alderete or Thiago? Probably Thiago. Can Haaland be benched this week? I highly doubt it. Can you keep the remaining free transfers after AFCON week? Yes. Basically, you get top to 5 free transfers, and then they work just like if you'd got to 5 free transfers yourself, if that makes sense. Maz Yao, new member, thank you. Thoughts on Mateta over Haaland for captaincy? I kind of hate it just because of minutes. Like, Mateta could play like 60, 65. Alderete most, because Nketiah is probably going to play instead of Sarr, but obviously, if I was going to say Maresca, if Glasner wants to make a change, he could make the change for Mateta and move Nketiah up front. Alderete most probably plays, but small chance he won't because one of their centre backs didn't start last week. Also own Richards, who's a rotation risk. Yeah, fair enough. Is that in relation to the earlier question? Or is that just a bit of additional info for someone else's question? I can't remember. I can't remember what the Alderete question was now. Start Alderete or take a -4 to buy Chow. I'd probably just start Alderete still. 2 free transfers, Senesi, Juve, and Gabriel on my team. Do I do Gabriel to Timber and Enzo to Anderson, or Gabriel to Calafiori and Donnarumma to Raya? I wouldn't sell a goalkeeper. I know he's on 4 yellow cards, but worry about that when it comes. Like, he might not get the 2 yellow. He might not get his 5th yellow for the next couple of game weeks, and then you can just decide what to do. Like, let's say he gets the yellow next week. For some reason, he's time wasting against Sunderland. Then maybe you sell him in 16 with 5 free transfers. Senesi out for a -4. Timber Richards might get rested. Yeah, I think Timber will start. Don't take the -4. Saka captain. I think Saka will start, but I'm worried about an early sub with him. That's probably why I've taught myself. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to create a narrative because deep down I just want to go for the safe Haaland pick. I don't know. But there's something about Saka I don't quite trust. Saka game week 16 against Wolves at home. I'm much more interested in that. Especially, and I'm going to check the fixtures now. Yeah, especially if he gets rested in the Champions League. I'm hoping Saka plays today or this week. Villa gets rested in the Champions League and then is fresh for the Wolves game. Because if so, I'm going to captain Saka against Wolves. This week, I'm a little bit less sure. Game week 14 is the one I'm wavering on the most. Who did I captain in 12, by the way? Because I didn't captain Haaland. Oh, I captained Saka, didn't I? Yeah, captain Saka. Who did Saka play in 12? It was after the Sunderland game, wasn't it? Oh, Spurs, of course. Yeah, 4 goals. But none for Saka. Reinders to Dewsbury Hall. I already have 3 City players. Getting rid of Reinders would allow me to do Cucurella to Vardio. Nice. Yeah, although Cucurella is probably fine this week. I mean, I guess they could play Hato, but I think Cucurella will probably play. So tempted by Bruno captain, but it's Haaland. I know. Here's the thing, though. Would you be captaining Bruno if he'd blanked last week? I feel like there's a lot of new people to Bruno recently. I don't know. Transfer out Senesi for Chow or transfer out Semenyo for Bruno and have to play King or Calvert-Lewin. Probably Senesi. Semenyo is okay this week. Bruno and Anderson for Semenyo and Sarr, or Anderson and Lacroix for Senesi and Sarr. Bruno rising and Senesi falling. I mean, do you definitely want Bruno soon? I think because you'd be dealing with 2 problems in Senesi and Sarr, I think I prefer Anderson and Lacroix because Semenyo is fine this week. But do you want to captain Bruno this week? If you don't get him this week, does it make you? Does it put you in a position where you get stuck to buy him next week, etc.? You've got to think about all these things. Ultimately, if you don't go for Bruno and you want him and you can't get him next week, you should probably just get him now, right? Mano Jessar Van 2480. I've definitely said that wrong. Sorry, but new member, thank you. Not sure if you've mentioned Semenyo as a captain. No real interest. Might not be on penalties. The underlying numbers are not amazing. They're okay. He's going to play 90. Won't Senesi be price locked after the deadline so he won't fall in? Oh, that's a good point, actually. He didn't drop last night, did he? That's a really good point. If FPL are quick, right? So if FPL drop the red flag on Senesi straight after the deadline, he'll be price... I don't know if he'll be price locked, but the transfers out needed to drop the price will be reset, I believe. So it'll basically start fresh. I forgot about that. Yes, I remember talking about this to someone yesterday. Yeah, he didn't drop last night. So if FPL do the flag quick, we might save ourselves from a Senesi price shot, which would be nice because the first price shot will affect 0.1. Maybe I would say I'll get onto FPL, but I'm not sure how you get in touch with them. Maybe I'll tweet to say get that red flag on. I need that 0.1 million. We'll see what happens. I'm sure we won't be the only people that have noticed that. Sorry if already answered. Is it worth risking Haaland captain? If not, is Haaland the best alternative? Look, I think Salah will start, and I think he'll get really good minutes, and it's a good fixture. If you want to take the risk, I don't hate Salah captain, but given what happened last week, you've got to be a bit of a risk taker, I think. But I'm as confident about him starting as I was last week about him starting, which obviously was not great. Is Bruno a decent triple captain option? Personally, I'd save it for Haaland in 17 if you've not already used it. I have Saliba, Senesi, and Sarr, Anderson, and Rodon on the bench. 1 free transfer. What's the best course? 1 free transfer or -4. I'd probably just sell one of those players. I don't know actually. Maybe I'd sell Senesi and Sarr because Saliba might not start. So yeah, probably a -4. Welbeck bench to play Timber, O'Reilly, Van Dijk, Munoz. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. Enjoy to Anderson this week and Eze to Foden next week. With Eze, there has to be some risk about whether he starts. So, but you're not going to do the Eze move until next week. Okay. I guess you need the money to get Foden. Would you not just keep Njai? I think Njai's better than Anderson this week, no? Keep Njai and then just do double moves next week. Do I risk Cunha start instead of Rodgers? Villa have got Brighton away. Oh, that's horrible because Cunha's definitely better if he starts. I'd probably go with a safer starter though in the safer minutes and just go for Rodgers. Have Anderson, Senesi, and Saliba. Anderson, Senesi, and Saliba. Okay, we just take a hit to fix. Plus, I have Richards where there's doubt. I'd maybe risk it. You potentially got Anderson, Saliba, and Rich. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe Senesi for a hit, I guess. It's horrible to take a hit to cover a potential benching, though. Just for confirmation, do we have 2 triple captains or 1? You've got 1 of each chip in the first half of the... Sorry, you got 1 of each chip in the first half of the season, first 19 weeks, and then 1 of each chip in the second half of the season. I've got 2 free transfers. It's stupid to hold this close to AFCON. Not if you've got nothing to do. We're doing water today. Where's the Coke? Don't worry, I've got a Coke Zero as well. But you got to keep yourself hydrated with some H2O at the same time. I mean, Coke Zero is like 90% water, but it's obviously not quite the same as drinking actual water. Krupi Jr. or Estev. Feel Krupi might start. They have got some injury. They got some suspensions and stuff, right? But I think Kluivert's back now. Did Kluivert play any minutes in the last game? Yeah, I think I would go Estev. Minte versus Anderson, tricky because Forest have Burnley. Forest have Wolves. Minte has West Ham next week, though. I'm going Minte. I could buy Anderson instead, but I'm going Minte. Thiago against Arsenal as captain, or just be safe with Haaland. Come on now. You're not serious. No, okay, do you know what? I'm going to stop completely writing off questions after last week. No, I would definitely not captain Thiago against Arsenal. I'm not sure he'd even be in my top 20 captains this week. Not that I've thought about a list of 20 captains, but I'm pretty sure Thiago wouldn't make it. Reinders and Sarr to Foden and Anderson for a -4, or Minte instead of Anderson, but price me out of Raya. I think pricing yourself out of Raya is okay. I would not take a -8 for Pope to Raya. I would just do... Yeah, I would... If you get Minte, can you still get Foden later on? Otherwise, yeah, maybe take the -4. I wouldn't worry about Raya too much, to be honest. Not at this price now. Raya, Van Dijk... Oh, it's just your whole team. Nice. Who's more likely to start, Saliba or James? I'm going to have to say Saliba, because I think Maresca has more or less told us that James is very, very, very unlikely to start. The chances are they probably both don't start. Why didn't you do the Paquetá to Minte move yet? Are you waiting for team leaks? Just what's the point in doing it earlier, really? Have 2 spots to play. Like, what's the rush, I guess? Have 2 spots to play. A, Botman to Chow plus play Thiago. Or B, Jadon Anthony to Anderson plus play Thiago. Or captain both transfers for a -4 and bench Thiago. I would just do one of them and play Thiago. I don't know which one, to be honest. They're both good to do. You're probably going to be doing both of them over the next couple of weeks. So just maybe get Chow in for now because he's got Burnley at home next week. I'm also planning to get Minte for Reinders. Your good friend Az doesn't seem to rate him that much in FPL. Well, I'm definitely going to buy him then. I feel sorry for Az because Az messaged me before we all locked in our free hit 13, like the day before. And he showed me a draft, right? He had Isak and Gakpo. He had Isak and Gakpo. I said, like the punty nature. To be fair, actually, do you know what? I didn't completely write it off. I said, this is what I said. I like the punty nature, to be fair. It's 1 week, not the worst time to take the punt. And it's solid outside of Isak. So I did kind of write Isak off. But I didn't say it was terrible. Yeah, do you know what? He said it was my fault that he didn't go with that draft. But I never said it was terrible at any point. I did kind of put doubts on Gakpo's minutes a bit, but I think I was pretty doubtful. I mean, he did also send me a draft with Jared Bowen in it at one point. Yeah, damn. He had the Isak Gakpo draft. How good? Isak Gakpo, no Salah draft he had. How good would that have been? Anyway, if Az doesn't rate Minte, I'm getting Minte, I think. If you could get any defender, not Timber, Van Dijk, Munoz, who would you? Needs to play this week. Lacroix? Or just another Arsenal defender like Nkapie? Or Calafiori? Thoughts on Mateta captain? Also have Haaland, Saka, I just prefer Haaland. I think Mateta's minutes could be quite reduced this week. That's all. But Mateta's not terrible. Gakpo I'm never going to be interested in something like Gakpo captain because even though I think he'll start, there's obviously doubts about that. There's doubts over his minutes. He hasn't got penalties. Just no interest. Stranger Man, 51 months. Have to play one of Reinildo or James worth a -4. I probably wouldn't -4 it, and I would just... I don't think James is going to start. I mean, honestly, Maresca has all pretty much told us he's not going to start. I'd probably play Reinildo and hope for the freaking best. Eze rotation headache, hit to get... That's interesting. No, I'm not going to go down that line. Hit to get Bruno and bench Eze. What? Can you not just play whoever's on your bench over Eze? Maybe? I don't hate the hit, I guess, because I don't think Eze's a great long-term pick, but still breaking my head on Mbeumo versus Foden. Not a big fan of a guaranteed transfer out. Well, then you know the answer, don't you? You know the answer. Mbeumo, Saka or Haaland captain? Haaland. Thiago or Anderson in the 11. If that's Forest Anderson, I'd play him. If it's Fulham Anderson, I'd bench him. Pope and Sarr to Anderson and Donnarumma. I wouldn't buy Donnarumma. No, I would definitely go for Bruggen and Foden over Anderson and Donnarumma. Yeah, I like that. Anything to be said for Mason Mount this week? 1 week punt. I don't hate it, but he's just played 90 minutes for the first time in forever. Chances of him playing loads of minutes this week, I'm not convinced. FPS Knicks, 35 months. Start Trossard or this. Is that Thiago, I guess? Oh, Chow. I don't think Trossard will start, so Chow. How do you rate Man United attack now? They were the best for the first part of the season, but it's gone way down last 6 games. It's their bottom half. I mean, honestly, I just think that West Ham at home and Wolves away will do a lot of lifting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we've played Liverpool away, Spurs away, Palace away, Forest away in the last 6. And Brighton at home. I guess not so bad. Yeah, I mean, it's West Ham and Wolves. That'll probably do for me. Any world where you see Senesi to Calafiori for a -4, where you've got no bench, is Saliba fit? He's doubtful, I would say, for game. Well, he definitely is doubtful for game week 14. Do we normally get team leaks with these midweek games? We don't really get too many leaks full stop these days. Best 5.5 midfielders, Anderson and Dewsbury Hall probably. Maybe Lafay as well. West Ham have conceded the most goals from a CM. Bruno captain. Sure, but I mean those kind of stats, and I don't know how useful they really are. They're the kind of stats where people go look, like in my opinion, they're just stats that people go looking for when they want to captain someone. They're just looking for an excuse to do it. I mean, I get it, right? You're looking at data, but I mean, how many goals exactly from a central midfielder? Like, how many more is it than any other team? Is it like 5 more goals? Is it 1? Like, what's the actual stat? What do I think about Nketiah? I mean, he's going to start quite regularly, you'd think. He's a forward, isn't he? That's the annoying thing. Want to do Semenyo to Foden game week 15, have the exact funds, but Foden is predicted to go up tomorrow, so I'll get priced out if I don't take a hit. Or you can make an early transfer. So worth doing James to Chow for a hit and bench Alderete or no? Yeah, sure. If you feel like you don't want to make an early transfer next week, then take the hit. Sure. If you definitely want Foden. Bench 1, Calafiori, Munoz, Van Dijk, O'Reilly. Ooh, probably O'Reilly out of them, which sounds crazy, I know. Is game week 16 versus Palace away a better week to go against Haaland? It also coincides with hopefully Saka getting a rest in the Champions League and then playing Wolves at home, which is quite nice. Should I play Kudus or Dewsbury Hall? Probably Kudus, I think. Transferring Saka or Bruno. I'm going to say Bruno. Honestly, if I have to sell one of Saka or Bruno soon, I'm pretty sure I'm going to sell Saka before Fernandes. Start Van der Ven, save one transfer, or Caicedo to Njai Anderson. You've got transfers to use. I'd probably use them. I wouldn't buy Njai, though. That's a guaranteed transfer out very soon. Transfer out Senesi for Chow or transfer out Semenyo for Bruno. No, I did that one. I did do that one. Saka or Haaland captain? Haaland. It's honestly up to you. I think you want to take the -4, so just take the -4. It's funny how you rated Haaland as best captain and you're on Bruno. I'm kind of between the two. I might switch to Haaland. I don't really know, to be honest. I really don't know. Best 5.5 midfielders. I think I did that one already. Captain Haaland or Foden? Haaland. Luke Shaw in for Van der Ven for a short-term fix. I mean, Martinez is back now. I'd probably not risk Luke Shaw. I mean, Luke Shaw will start against West Ham. I've got no doubts about that. Martinez has been out for a while, but still. I probably would not take the -4, personally, because next week, Semenyo to Foden... Like, okay, you're taking a hit this week, just in case. What if a different player gets injured next week? Like, you can always take the -4 next week if you get really stuck getting Foden, right? Unless you've got no other route to do it, but you need to look at your own team for that. I can't answer that. So I would probably not take the hit. I've transferred Sarr in twice, out twice, sold and brought again. But, sorry, just to go back to that. Like, I know you want my opinion, obviously, that's the whole point of this stream. But you also need to be happy with your moves. And the way you're talking tells me you really don't want to get priced out of Foden and you really want to take a hit to not have to play your defenders. And so if you're going to be happy at taking the hit, you should probably just do that. It shouldn't really matter what I think. I don't have to live with that decision or manage that team going forward. But generally, I will avoid taking a hit unless I absolutely have to take it. I've transferred Sarr in twice, out twice, sold and brought again, both João Pedro and Mateta. Nice. I mean, I've transferred Sarr in once and he got injured. I haven't transferred him in a second time. Just got lucky, really. Donnarumma on 4 yellows. That guy loves to time waste. Is O'Reilly a good replacement for Senesi? He's an amazing replacement as long as he keeps starting. Which, I don't know, the starts look pretty good at the moment. Am I sticking with Bruno captain? I think honestly, I think I'll probably end up going Haaland, but I don't know. I don't know. I want to go Fernandes, but I'm scared, really. There's just something about Bruno. Like, I love him as a pick. He's going absolutely nowhere anytime soon. Like, as long as he stays fit, which, to be fair, he always does. Like, Bruno is not going to get sold until game week 22, probably at the earliest. Like, this fixture run is just so good, especially for a player that will always play. But captaincy, he's been so consistent as well. So it's not even like, you know, people will say, oh, he either gets 2 or he gets 10. Actually, he's been super consistent. But there's still something about him. I just not sure I can captain him. Especially when Haaland is just Haaland, you know? I don't know. I really do not know. It is West Ham, though. James to Chow or O'Reilly? I mean, Chow's the safer pick. O'Reilly is much more interesting, though, I would say. But again, it's hard for me to know whether O'Reilly will keep starting every game. So I guess, I'd probably play it safe with Chow, but I might buy O'Reilly in game week 15 or 17. You never know. Still no real sign to buy Cunha. You're not going to get a sign to buy Cunha. Like, no one's going to have the team today. And as I said the other day, even if we'd had Amorim's press conference, unless he'd ruled out Mount or Xerxes, you wouldn't be 100% sure that he was going to start. Like I said to people the other day, if Amorim press conference was today and he'd said Amorim's back, if he'd said Cunha's back in the squad, people still wouldn't have bought him because that doesn't mean he'll start. Please put Paquetá on your bench. It's annoying me. No, because I'm going to sell Paquetá. And if I put him on the bench, then sell him, then I've got to switch back, and that just makes no sense. Haaland is just more explosive. I mean, yes, sort of, but like, I don't know. Explosive is one of those things people use in FPL. I'm not really sure whether it matters all that much, to be honest. You can also say that unless Haaland gets 2 goals, his scores are pretty rubbish. I mean, he scored 2 goals against Everton, 2 against Bournemouth. Outside of that, 8-2, 4-2, 2. So is he explosive or is he inconsistent? Higher ceiling. Is that true, though? I mean, Bruno Fernandes, like, so for Haaland to get 13 points, he needs 2 goals. Bruno could do it with 1. Like, if you, this is just perception, right? And look, I appreciate that Haaland has got 13 points and Bruno's not done that at all. But Haaland's 4 highest scores are 13, 13, 16, 13. So the 16-pointer was quite nice. So 4 times he's got double digits. Bruno's done it once, twice, 3. Bruno's hit double digits 3 times. Haaland's done it 4. Now, those 4 double-digit hauls from Haaland were all more score. But how high is the ceiling against Fulham away? I don't know. Oh, did I miss the Wolves game? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 5. Okay, sorry. I did miss the Wolves game. Yeah, Haaland's just probably better. Explosivity doesn't matter. All that matters is points per game. Yeah, there's probably a bigger conversation there because I get what people are saying, right? If it was 1 week only, you probably, like, if Haaland and Fernandes had the same fixture, you would always go Haaland, right? Imbermo forces an extra transfer and an early transfer today. Yeah, you just can't do that, I don't think. There is surely a better free hit than 1 on Final Thoughts. Is Volta? Yeah, but did you listen to what I said, though? You just switch Gakpo and Strand Larson if you're not happy with it, right? And then you go for like Voltamada or Mateta up front, and then you go for a cheaper midfielder. Is Voltamada? I don't know. I don't actually know if Voltamada's minutes are better than Mateta. I'd be tempted to go Mateta for the penalties. Crappy wildcard 13, free hit 14. Any changes in your opinion? This is your wildcard 14 team. Henderson, Munoz, Chalobah, O'Reilly, Timber, Foden, Rice. Is this a free hit 14? Mateta, Haaland, and Voltamada. 2 Arsenal. 3 Arsenal. No, 2 Arsenal. Against Brentford. No Man United attack. Am I missing something? That can't be a free hit 14 team. You've got to have at least 1 Man United attacker, surely. They're just good this week. Get Foden or Bruno this week. Bruno, sorry. Play Mukiele or Rodon. Rodon, I guess. Richards, Lacroix, Van Dijk with Senesi and Goodmanson on the bench. 1 free transfer. Senesi transfer to remove double Palace defence or risk it and roll. Probably roll if you've got nothing to do. I think Richards and Lacroix is... Well, maybe move Senesi... Maybe move Senesi to someone you're happy to hold long term and have them on the bench in case Richards doesn't start. Saka and Stack to Burma and Rice -4 to prepare for bench boost. If it's for bench boost, yes. Although selling Saka from -4 feels weird. Fulham are 4th best expected goals conceded and West Ham are 4th worst. Yeah, Fulham not bad. Which 2 to bench of Thiago, Njai and O'Reilly? Which 2 to bench of Thiago? Arguably Thiago against Arsenal. It's hard to bench penalty takers though. 1 hour to go. Who do we captain? Play Thiago or take a -4 to play Minte. 21 months. I would probably just play Thiago. I didn't do benching headaches, no, because there wasn't that many submitted really. Like, so many people have got so many injuries and suspensions. Yeah, so many injuries and suspensions that there wasn't really many benching headaches, so I didn't include it in final thoughts today. Play Bruno Guimaraes or Elliot Anderson. Probably Bruno. Always play Bruno. Free hit without Haaland, am I crazy? No, although... I mean, honestly, I look at that draft I did. Maybe I would just go Haaland over Salah for safety, but Salah will start, right? When am I going to transfer Minte for Paquetá? Sometime in the next 1 hour, 1 minute, and 10 seconds, probably. Thiago or Van Dijk? Who do I bench? Thiago, I think. If you're at 1 million rank, be honest, you would go for Bruno captain. Honestly, I wouldn't be worrying about being 1 million this early. I would just captain who I think is the best captain. I don't... Maybe subconsciously it plays on my mind, but I don't tend to start... Did I just pull the wire out? No. Why does this mic keep doing this to me? I don't tend to start making decisions based on rank till much later in the season, to be honest. Like, it's only game week 14. Things could change so quickly. Like, a couple of bad game weeks, all of a sudden I'm back down to like 500k. What's your favourite part about Christmas? Dinner? I don't know. There's probably a much better answer. I don't know why I said that. There's probably a much better answer to that I'm not going to think about right now. You switched to Bruno when? I don't know. A couple of minutes ago. We can switch back to Haaland. What game week do we get topped up to 5? Game week 16. Petrovic versus Henderson. Probably Henderson, to be honest. Can we see your game week rank history? Feels like you've teleported to 18k. Yeah, I've just had a couple of good weeks, basically. Free hit just really helped. Yeah, so it was like game week 9, like 800k. Yeah, the last few weeks, since game week 9, I've gone from nearly 800k to 18k. Yeah, my game week 12 team was pretty good. And game week 12 team is very similar to my game week 14 team. Obviously, right? You don't, but in terms of the fixtures and the players, start Thiago or Rodgers. Thiago, I think. Start Krupi or Thiago. Thiago, Alisson Timber or Raya Van Dijk. Raya Van Dijk. You're already waiting for the inevitable red arrows. Yeah, of course I'm going to get some red arrows. I mean, if I don't get any red arrows for the rest of the season, then that's like top 1k definitely on. But I'm going to yeah, red arrows will be coming soon, no doubt about it. I just hope it's not like I just hope that I can stay close to this at some point, like by the end of the season, basically. That'd be pretty nice. So maybe obviously I want to be higher, but if I can get anywhere close to top 20k by the end of the season, I'll probably take that right now. I just don't want it to be like a blip where I suddenly drop back down, because that's just rubbish feeling, right? Start Voltemada or Anderson. Voltemada for sure. We don't know for sure that Thiago is fit, but I suspect he is based on what Keith Andrews said. He kind of said we had a few knocks and problems. He was like, but you get that in a game like in the game against Burnley. It didn't sound like there was any major issues. Who am I leaning towards between Bruno and Haaland? I'm leaning towards one of them. I'm not sure which though. I don't know. I really want to go. I really want to go for Fernandes. I'm just scared. Do you know what's made it even worse? Is when we were talking about the ceiling and the explosiveness. Once I saw that Haaland actually got double-digit hauls, like 13 plus 5 times, I was like, oh my god, 5 times in 13 weeks. That goes pretty good. Could do the Mbeumo move and ignore Reinders to Minte game week 15 and play Dewsbury and move Semenyo to Foden. Yeah, that works. Or you could move Reinders to Anderson. It's also an option. Sarr and Pope to Raya and Minte -4. Or Pope to Raya start Rodon. I would probably... Can you not just do Sarr to Minte and play Dubravka? No, I'd prefer that, I think. But if you want to take the hit, I'd go the Raya route, probably. Yeah, sorry, I don't mind the hit, is what I'm trying to say. Riches, Chalobah and Esteve, Rodon and Senesi bench. No money for one good move. Should I -4? You could just play Riches, Chalobah and Esteve. Yeah, that is tricky. A -4, you're probably going to go and buy Chow or O'Reilly. It's fine. I'd maybe risk that defense. But Chalobah is like, this is the problem with Chelsea. Chalobah is not guaranteed to start. Do you know what? In that case, I'd maybe take a hit. Here we go. Here we go. Ant's using his member monthly message to tell me how good West Ham are. West Ham have 40 months, by the way. West Ham have won 4 of their last 5 Premier League games against United. Quite fancy us for this one. I don't know. If Cunha starts and Mbeumo, I don't even want to say really because Man United are rubbish, but yeah. But you didn't win all 5. Captain Punt, one of Mateta, Bruno, Guimaraes, or Enzo. Mateta. Evan Nilsson or Krupi. Evan Nilsson. Start Thiago or Rogers. Thiago. Definitely already did that one, didn't I? Man United, I think. Okay, let's see what Rob T's updated numbers are. Let's see what his latest post is. Man United are projected 2.25 goals against West Ham. Only Liverpool are higher against Sunderland, and it's only just. Like, Man United are projected more goals by the bookies than Arsenal and Man City this week. Then again, Man United are always heavily favoured. They're always heavily favoured in everything. I don't know. You know how rubbish or not they are now. But the thing is, Man United being rubbish doesn't mean that Mbeumo is a bad pick necessarily, right? I prefer Mbeumo for the next 2 over Foden, but long-term Foden's the play. I apologise in advance. It's the one time I'll send you my team. Raya, Calafiori, Van Dijk, Munoz, Minte, Eze, Mbeumo, Gakpo, Mateta, Haaland, Voltemada on free hit. Yeah, if you don't want to take the punt on Salah, then obviously get Haaland. I mean, that looks really nice to me. Maybe I should have given free hit more thought than 5 minutes. After what Hertzler said, should I start Welbeck? Depends who your alternative is. If you haven't got a good alternative, then yes. What to do with Semenyo and Doku? Come on. I bet you bought Doku recently. Honestly, there was someone in the Discord earlier for my YouTube members that had bought Doku like last week, and now they're thinking of taking a -4. This is... God, Man City players, honestly. What to do with Semenyo and Doku? Probably start them both. I've got Mbeumo, Minte, and Gakpo. What about... I wouldn't sell Semenyo or Doku to Eze, Rice, Barnes, or Rogers. Just keep them, surely. Haaland triple captain, definitely not this week. Would you do Semenyo, Mbeumo, and Anderson? No. Oh, for Salah, Sarr, and Senesi -4. Again, selling Salah for a -4 just sounds pretty rubbish. But I guess I do prefer the... No, that just sounds pretty rubbish, I think. Yeah, no, I don't like that. And it includes Mbeumo, who's a guaranteed transfer back out soon. Are West Ham as good as Armenia, as Bruno scored a hat-trick against them? They're probably better, yeah. I'm ranked 1.4k. At what point do you start taking risks? Whenever you want. Like, risks for what? What are you trying to risk? To win? To finish top 1k? Top 100? You can take risks at any point, really. It depends. I guess one thing to consider is how risky you think the risk is, right? I can't decide between Saka, Fernandes, or Haaland for captaincy. Do I play it safe with Verdict? Well, this is the thing. Like, you're asking me to play it safe. What's your aim? What's your aim? Like, if you want to try and push for number one, and you think it's close between all those, like basically, this is how I forget about the risk element, right? For a second, how close do you think captaincy is between those three players? This is why I'm tempted by Bruno, because I think captaincy is quite close. So why not go for the player that's lower owned? But if you're sat there looking at Haaland, Saka, Fernandes, and you think that Haaland is miles better than the other two, then that's a risk just not worth taking. So, I don't know. I'm tempted to keep it on Fernandes because I think it's close-ish as long as I trust Fulham defence. Why is Anderson such a bandwagon now? Am I missing something? He got points recently. He's got 6, 9, and 9 in his last 3 game weeks. Like there's two things that are happening. One, there's a lot of people that own Sarr and they're looking to sell for someone. And he's cheap. But the fact that he's got 6, 9, and 9 in his last 3 game weeks is also helping people buy him. Like, if we're being honest. We all suffer a little bit from liking players more when they score points. It happens to all of us. Even if we don't consciously make decisions based on points, subconsciously it can happen, you know? Okay. Bench, Minte, João Pedro, or Enzo. Oh my god. João Pedro, I think, but they're all horrible to have to bench. Minte and João Pedro, or Bruno and Dewsbury Hall, and Richards or Anderson. Richards, Bruno, and Dewsbury Hall. My alternative to Welbeck is to start Ahmad. I'd start Ahmad. It's West Ham at home. He should start. Option A, 39 months business account, thank you. Option A, Sarr to Bruno. Bench Dewsbury Hall, play a terrible defence, including Anderson and Vandenberg / Goodmanson. Deal with Sarr now. Or B, buy a defender and be boring and get anyone up to timber. Yeah, but then you've got a Sarr problem, right? Then you've still got a similar defence, apart from you've got Sarr. I'd probably just do Sarr to Bruno, I think. Bench 1, O'Reilly, Rice, Mateta, Voltemada. O'Reilly. Play 1, Rodon, Alderete, Thiago, Pope and Senesi to Raya and Lacroix. Or Raya and O'Reilly, or Petrovic and Munoz, or any other combination. I mean, I like Raya and Lacroix because that's what I've got. But honestly, if you look at the fixtures next 3, there is a chance O'Reilly does better than Lacroix. But Lacroix just feels like such a safe bet. Always going to play. Defcons are good. Goal threat there. Good fixture this week. So I'd probably go Raya and Lacroix. Verbruggen and Munoz is also not bad. But Raya and Lacroix seems pretty good. Would you bench boost to Bravka, Anderson, Esteve, Rodon? Oh my god. Oh, no, wait. Two at home to Palace. I mean, if that's Anderson from Forest, maybe. But when you get... I think you can probably get a better bench at some point, right? With the 5 free transfers. So I'd maybe wait. Do I think Cunha starts? I think it's more likely he's benched. But I think... So if I was doing it on percentages, I think earlier on this game week, so I know it's been a short turnaround, I'd have been like 20% start. Now I think I'm like 40, 45%. So I think I'm getting close to the point where I say he's more likely to start than be benched. But right now, I think he's more likely to be benched still. But my confidence in a start has gone up a little bit. Now we know he's back in training. Should I transfer Sarr and cash for Dewsbury Hall and Timber -4? I guess that's a don't hate it because you get Timber. Does Salah start or sell it? I think he'll start, yeah. I wouldn't sell him for a -4 unless you absolutely have to. -4 to get Pope out. No, I would probably just play Dubravka and transfer Pope out next week instead. Start João Pedro, Minte or Saliba. Probably Minte out of those. Why would Cunha be benched? It was a head injury. He's been training. I don't know because he's not been training, right? Who knows? I really don't know. Like everyone's saying it's concussion protocol, but I don't think the club has said that, right? Although presumably it is, given how long he was out for. But yeah, maybe Amram just won't take any risks with him. Mount and Xerxes scored last week. I mean, there's multiple reasons why Cunha could be benched. Like I said, my confidence is going up. But I can't sit here and tell you for sure he's going to start. But I'm going to keep him. I'm definitely going to keep him, I mean. Would you start Alderete or Thiago versus Arsenal? At least you know Thiago plays Arsenal. Thiago. Would you play... I already answered that, though. I think you already asked that, right? Would you play Xhaka and Roll or do Senesi to Timber? I'd probably do... Yeah, but you're not losing 0.2 million on Senesi unless you want him back. I would definitely do Senesi to Timber. How is it possible that suddenly the whole world has Bruno and is captaining him? I mean, Bruno will still be low owned. And he won't be heavily captained. In fact, how many the reason that he's being talked about more, he just got an 11-pointer, basically. Wow, he's the second most transferred in midfielder. Wow. He's almost top. That's what an 11-pointer will do. I wonder how many of the 250,000 people that have brought Fernandes in have called him a defensive midfielder this season. I reckon at least 200,000 of them. Am I sticking to Bruno captain? I don't know. We'll find out later. I really don't know, by the way. I really don't know. So you remember last week? I literally said this at the start of the stream when someone was asking me. I said I felt quite calm about my free hit and I probably wouldn't make any changes. And I didn't make any changes. There was almost... Oh, no, I did. I bought in Collins. But other than that, there was no last-minute panic. This week, I'm really not sure. Last week, I was quite okay with my free hit team. The captaincy decision this week feels harder than the free hit team last week. Which is kind of weird. Skillerhertz, new member, thank you. Sarr to Gakpo or Sarr and Pope to Bruno and Verbruggen. Oh, Bruno and Verbruggen's a good long-term move. Or Sarr and Reinders to Bruno and Dewsbury Hall. No, I like the Verbruggen move, I think. Yeah. Saka, Cunha, Enzo, Semenyo, Anderson, Haaland, Voltemade, and Mateta. I need to bench one. Would you bench Anderson or Cunha? I think you've got to bench Cunha out of those. Just because there's some slight doubts there. Minte rising tonight. Do I go early before they play? Probably not. I know it shouldn't play in the decision, but move from 1.4 to 400k last game with free hit. Don't want to risk losing rank going against Haaland captain. Yeah, fair. PS, Semenyo and Doku to Bruno and Marino. You can't buy Marino. No. He probably won't start. If I keep Semenyo and Doku, which one would you bench from those two? And Minte and Thiago? Thiago, I think. Selling Jai for Bruno Guimaraes. I would just play in Jai against Bournemouth away. On penalties, I think he's okay. Chances White starts ahead of Timber. I think there's I think there's more chance that I go through the whole of my Game Week 15 content without having a dig at Caicedo than there is that White starts ahead of Timber. Is that the right way around? I feel like when I started saying that, I thought I was saying something clever, which obviously I wasn't. But I don't know if I got that the right way around. There's more chance that I will not have a dig at Caicedo. I don't know if I've got that. Basically, I don't think White's going to start. I don't know if I've got that the right way around. I will definitely have a dig at Caicedo, that's for sure. But yes, I don't think White starts. The chances, 10%, 15%. Dangu to Bruno Guimaraes, Barnes or Gordon. I mean, Bruno probably out of those. Sell Donnarumma to free up a City spot. No, I'd probably just keep him. Start O'Reilly or Eze, who is more likely to start. I actually think O'Reilly's more likely to start. Start Anderson and Roll or buy O'Reilly instead of Senesi and bench Anderson. I think getting O'Reilly's perfectly reasonable in that case. On free hit, give me the tip three must-have players. In Burmo, Bruno, Fernandes, and Munoz. Timber and Gakpo or Munoz and Foden. Munoz and Foden, I think. Or O'Reilly. No, Munoz and Foden is good. One free transfer, Senesi to Munoz / O'Reilly or play Anderson Fulham. I would use the transfer probably for Munoz out of those two. Grealish to Bruno Guimaraes for a hit. No, I probably wouldn't do that. Not for a hit. So I think Mbeumo plays game week 16. Yes, but we might find out from Amorim over the next week that he's not. But I think that pretty much any key AFCON player that you're thinking about, like Mbeumo, Njai, etc., I think they'll all play game week 16. I'd be very surprised if any of them go early. Play Thiago and Roll or get Timber. I think Timber's better than Thiago, so if you're going to make that move anyway, why not do it now? An 11-pointer, and most content creators talk about how they're going to buy Bruno. That's what's causing the transfers in. Don't a lot of people already own Bruno, though, in in content creation space. I don't really know, to be honest. I've not checked, but I thought a few people already had him. Senesi to Timber for a -4, or just play Van de Ven. Van de Ven, Newcastle. I'd probably not take the -4, I guess. I mean, I said this midweek, right? I was talking about Foden. I said maybe at this point we just assume that Foden's nailed until he's not. But I said that after he got 15 points. Would I have said that if he'd blanked again? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm a bit more okay with Foden now because he's got 2 goals. Happens to all of us subconsciously, I'm telling you. Why did you celebrate the Gakpo goal on Sunday so much? You're meant to be a Man United fan. Because he's in my FPL team. I'm not celebrating Liverpool winning. I'm celebrating points. Start 4. Burn, Van Dijk, O'Reilly, Timber, Gay. I would bench Burn. I think that's fairly straightforward as well out of those. Ish. I guess O'Reilly is away, but I'd probably bench Burn. Gabriel to O'Reilly -4 or to play Munoz, Anderson and Rodon. I'd be tempted to -4 that, I think. I know you're selling Paquetá. What is your plan with Senesi? Vandenberg. If you would bring some defender like Chow or O'Reilly, would you play them ahead of your 3 defenders? No. No, don't think so. I'm going to do Senesi to Vandenberg next week, I think. Do you see Foden bench this or next game week, thinking Madrid is next midweek? Like, you know what I'm going to say. It could happen. But he started every game since game week 4, and he's been playing Champions League as well. Like, that is the one player in the Man City team, outside of Haaland, where you know that if Pep wants to, he can just use him every game. For fitness reasons and stuff. So, like, let me put this a different way. Foden has started every single game since game week 4. If you can't buy him now, just never think about him. Basically, like if you're still not confident enough to buy him, there's just no point considering him, right? I've got no plans to buy him as it stands. Maybe game week 17. But even then, like, I just all it will take is one benching over the next few weeks, and I just won't go there. After a match-winning brace. But when has that stopped Pep Guardiola before, you know? 2 free transfers, 1 for Paquetá to Minte. Use the other for a sub. Only if you've got doubts around your starting 11. Otherwise, you can just save it till next week. Back 3 is Lacroix, Munoz, Van Dijk. Bench 1, O'Reilly, Eze, Doku, Tavernier, Mateta. Probably Tavernier. Oh, do you know what? Probably Eze. I don't think he'll start. Saka and Anderson or Foden and Fernandes. Probably Foden and Fernandes. Jeremy Pino and Fasara is a differential. It's okay, yeah, but I feel like you might have to sell him again at some point. But his minutes should be pretty good. Play Ryan. And also, by the way, it's Fulham away and Man City at home after this. So it is, if you want a short-term differential pick, I don't hate it, but I'm not convinced about him as a long-term pick. Play Reinders or hit him out. If you've got no other bench, I would hit him out. Maybe for Anderson or something like that. Semenyo to Bruno, free transfer. Everton without O'Brien at right back. Bruno's better, though, this week, I think. Still need to swap Van Dijk, Timber or Virgil. Timber. Selling Jai. No, I wouldn't sell Jai. Haaland, Saka and Burmo, Mateta, Gakpo, who the captain? Haaland. Punty captain, Mateta, Enzo or Bruno Guimaraes. Mateta. I think I did that one already. 38 minutes left. Got to decide on captain. Sato and Burma and Reinders to Minte for a hit this game week. Yeah, sure. Why not if you got no bench? I'm so conflicted between Bruno and Haaland for captaincy. Will I stick with Bruno? I don't know. Probably at this point. I feel like Bruno's getting close to being locked in. I don't really know why. Why would you take a hit to get Minte to bench him? That makes no sense. James and Njai to Estevan Bruno -4. No, I'd probably just play Njai unless you really want to captain Fernandes. Christmas shopping has got in the way of the deadline shoes. Can't wait to get it locked in. Get it locked in. Then go shopping. I have Dewsbury Hall as bench. No need for the hit other than getting priced out of Minte. Yeah, I don't know. There's other options, right? Just get Anderson instead of Minte. Minte's good. I'm not sure he's so good that you need to have this much panic. necessarily, but I don't know. Why are you roasted in the sweater? Isn't winter in Ireland started? I know, yeah, but I'm in my house. I'm not sat outside. Have you ever had to think or talk about a player more in your life than Bruno? Yes. Lacroix captain? Nope. And honestly, I hope someone clips that up and tells me I was massively wrong about not captaining Lacroix, because that means I've got a massive score. Captaining a ball-playing centre-back, exactly. Oh, God. The thing is... Oh... I'm gonna have but if I captain Bruno, I'm definitely watching the Everton game tonight, not Man City, 100%. Because I'll have no Foden, no O'Reilly, no Haaland. It could be horrible. And then I'm gonna hear the commentator go, "Oh, there's been a goal at Man City," and I'm gonna, "Oh, it's definitely Haaland, isn't it?" For game week 15, should I get Minte in for O'Reilly? I'm not sure what you mean. They're both good in 15. Hit Reinders out for case Casemiro. I wouldn't get Casemiro. Would you? The thing is for Defcott, like Casemiro, I don't know if he's been getting it recently, but I feel like he gets subbed early. Yeah, 51, 70, 57, 71, 69, 57 minutes over the last kind of 5-6 game weeks. Although, to be fair, he's hit Defcon in most of those games. I still wouldn't go there. Reinders to Anderson is nice, yeah? You reckon Reece James will play for Chelsea? No, I think he'll be benched. You're 18k, don't risk it. Bruno's already a differential. I don't want to start thinking about rank, though, because it can go so quickly wrong. Really, I should try and make the same decision as if I was 100k or 200k. Was messing around with moves and seeing what I can do the next few weeks at 6 a.m. while playing with my son. Accidentally hit confirm and took a -8 Senesi and Jaisar to O'Reilly, Bruno, Anderson. Yeah, accidentally took a hit. Accidentally took a -8. Do you know what? It's probably not that bad. You took out 2 players that are not going to play, right? And now you've got Bruno Fernandes. So, you know, great start to the game week for you. Reece James will play half an hour and get a goal assist. Sure, yeah. Pope and Sarr to Raya and Anderson, or do Minte and a different goalkeeper for -4. I probably wouldn't take a -4, no. Just captain Haaland for your peace of mind. The thing is, I just can't help but think about stuff that should not... Like, the decision should just be, is there a chance that Bruno outscores Haaland? If yes, captain Bruno. That should be the whole decision. But I can't think about the fact that if Haaland gets a hat-trick tonight, that's just going to ruin the next 2 days. Like, it's 48 hours until Bruno plays after Haaland. That's just going to ruin it. But also, I can't help but think, imagine if Haaland doesn't do that well. Imagine he only gets like 6 or 8 points. And then I've got 2 days of hope. And I'm not sure which one's... I'm not sure which one is potentially worse. I mean, obviously the better one is the hope, but that might not happen. Yeah, exactly. Bruno playing Thursday is playing on my mind. Like, I can't help but think, imagine going into Thursday with a green arrow, Bruno captain, and then we see that Cunha's starting. I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to just try and push on, even though it's early. And the thing is, it's so early in the season. Like, stop thinking about rank. It really shouldn't matter this much. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just not going to be able to watch that City game tonight. It's going to absolutely kill me. And then it's too... Like, I've only got Dewsbury Hall playing tonight, I think. Yeah, I've only got Dewsbury Hall playing tonight. Where there's other people... Like, Semenyo's hugely owned. Haaland captains. Foden's been brought in by a lot of people. Lots of people have got O'Reilly. There's Chow at Newcastle. Voltamada. There's so many players. And all I've got is Dewsbury Hall. Well, sorry, I've got Haaland as well, obviously, but might not be captain. That's what I'm thinking. And like, there's other things that play on my mind as well. Like, can Bruno really return again? He's not been blanking much recently. Whoa, that can't be right. Bruno's got 5 XG and only 2 goals. Surely he's due a goal at this point. Bruno always lets you down. Half an hour to decide. I need someone to tell me. I need someone to tell me what to do. 2 penalty. Yeah, but even if you take the penalty misses out, it's still 3.6 XG and 2 goals. But then again, I feel like last season he underperformed for quite a while. But maybe he scored 2 to 3 XG of that is yeah, true. Oh yeah, because he obviously scored a penalty or two as well. How many penalties? No, he scored 1 penalty. So there's 3 penalties there. So that's 2.1 XG. So he's like maybe a bit more, 2.4. Yeah, fair enough. Top 100k last, now 2.1 million. Thinking Mateta captain. Again, like, so this is where I should just take my own advice. I wouldn't captain Mateta just because you're 2.1 million. Like, if you think Haaland's better, you should just go Haaland. Like, as I always say, anytime I get any green arrows and people start talking about, oh, you've done like okay at this point, most of the time it's with a boring template team. Although to be fair, my midfield's quite different. Like Bruno's quite low owned, Cunha's low owned, Minte's not high owned either, and Dewsbury Hall's really low owned. So actually, I've got quite a differential midfield, but the rest of the team pretty template, right? And I've moved up the ranks, so you don't need to go super different. Dewsbury Hall or Thiago. And Haaland or Bruno captain. Haaland and Bruno, I mean, I've just discussed that low. I don't know. Dewsbury Hall or Thiago? Probably Thiago. Rice or Saka? Rice points per minute are higher. Saka. Njai stack Senesi to Bruno, Anderson, Timber for free. I mean, that sounds great. Yeah. Senesi, Sarr, Rhinus to Van Dijk, Minte, Dewsbury Hall. Thoughts? Sounds great. Cunha in Burma or Foden in for Sarr? In Burma, as long as you got... Oh, in Burma is a -4, then Foden. Worth buying Ray at 5.9 if money isn't an issue. Money is always an issue at some point. But sure, if you don't think it's going to be an issue, go for him. Saka or Bruno for Sarr. Bruno looked at Anderson but have money for premium. Saka, Bruno have same amount of DEFCON returns even though Bruno had some 11s. Yeah, Bruno, free hit, True Fair and Your Crash or Timber and Evan Nielsen. Timber and Evan Nielsen, I think. They're both quite interesting though, honestly. Bench 1, Gay or Liveramento. Liveramento. Anderson or Thiago. Anderson. I really, really want to captain Semenyo over Haaland. Is that such a bad idea? It's not such a bad idea, but I would definitely captain Haaland. Van Dijk, O'Reilly, and Van Dijk to O'Reilly and Sarr to Foden for a -4 or best straight replacement for Sarr 7.3. I'd probably go for Minte or Minte probably. Is it worth having literally no bench cover for the free hit to get Timber instead of Calafiori? No, I would like to have at least 1 bench cover, I think, on free hit, especially midweek. Sarr, Timber to Foden, Lacroix, or Chow. I wouldn't sell Timber, so I would just do Sarr to someone cheaper, personally. And Chow's probably better for the next 3 than Lacroix, if you want to go that way. Trust your gut, but I'm not sure what my gut feeling is. I mean, weeks ago, I said game week 12 Saka, game week 13 Haaland, game week 14 Fernandez, game week 15 Haaland, game week 16 Saka, game week 17 Haaland. So maybe I should stick to that. Thoughts on Dango as a Sarr replacement? He plays Arsenal away. If you do game theory on Haaland captain versus Bruno captain, there's only one outcome that makes it worth going Bruno, 1 out of 4. I'll trust you on that. Yeah, I'll trust you on that. Thoughts on Voltemada Barnes as a captain punt? Voltemada maybe, but again, don't like it. The minutes aren't there. Barnes definitely not. Voltemada probably starts. How many minutes does he get? I don't know. He's not on penalties if Gordon plays. It's okay. Would you rate the form to consider between Foden versus Mbeumo? Not really. Would you rather captain Saka or Mateta? Saka. I don't think Nketiah is a bad punt on free hit. Don't hate that. In fact, if he's listed as a forward, that's who I should have put in instead of Strand Larsen. That's who I should have put in instead of Strand Larsen, shouldn't I? Nketiah. When the snowman brings the snow. In Burma versus Saka for captaincy, I would go Saka. I mean, I quite like Saka generally, to be honest, as long as you think the minute... Like, if you told me right now Saka was going to play close to 90, I mean, I'd probably go Saka captain. Maybe Saka is just the one. I've just got slightly more doubts about his minutes, that's all. I think I'm going to stick to Bruno. He's going to be super low owned. Here's the thing, right? Let's say it goes wrong. Let's say Haaland gets 2 goals. I mean, if he scores a hat-trick, then fair play. I've got it completely wrong. But let's say he scores 2 goals, gets 13 points. I mean, does that ruin my season? I mean, it will ruin my next 2 days, but does it ruin the season? What's the chances that not captaining Haaland ruins my entire season? Like the whole season? Probably not, right? Unless Haaland goes and scores 5 goals, and then I might just cry. Van Dijk to O'Reilly and Sarr to Foden for a -4 or best. Oh, I did that one already. I already have Enzo and Minte. Anderson. I'm not really sure if there's many other midfielders I like 6 to 7 unless I'm missing something. Thanks for all your help over the season. Thanks for watching. Stick to Bruno. It was meant to be. We'll see. Bench 1. Enzo, João Pedro, Anderson or Mateta. Anderson? Spin the wheel for captaincy was right last time. Yeah, but what if it doesn't fall on the one I want it to fall on? Is there a way of free hit 15 or 16 without losing one free transfer? No, you always lose a transfer. Like, you don't lose one, but you don't gain one the week you use free hit. Which attacker would you bench? Doku, Gakpo, Semenyo, Rodgers, Mbeumo, Haaland, Voltemade, Mateta. I mean, you're not benching Haaland, obviously, right? I'd bench Doku. No, I'd bench Rodgers, actually. If we assume that Doku and Gakpo start, I'd probably bench Rodgers. There's some risk there because Rodgers will definitely start, but I think he's the weakest one. If they all start, I think Rodgers is the weakest one. Took Semenyo out during hype. Okay. 2 free chances, 50-50 between bringing Gakpo or Semenyo in and Pope for Verbruggen. Going to captain Fernandes Cajones on top 25k. I mean, Semenyo's safer than Gakpo, but Gakpo's pictures coming up are really good if you want to take the risk. On wildcard, Raya, Dubravka, Timber, Chow, Anderson, O'Reilly, Esteve, Fernandes, Cunha, Foden, Rice, Dewsbury Hall, Thiago, Voltemade, Haaland. I've not thought about wildcard for game week 14 at all. I would say they're all good picks. So this, what? O'Reilly, okay, O'Reilly, Chow and Timber, Fernandes, Cunha, Foden, Rice. They're all pretty good picks. I like Minte. The only question mark would be for me, is there definitely that many... Like, if something goes wrong with Thiago or Voltemade, are there that many other forwards you want to move to? It's the only slight thing, but it's fine otherwise. In Mbeumo or Bruno for captain Bruno, would you rather captain Saka or Mateta? Oh, Saka already did that. O'Reilly, Welbeck, Reinders, Chalobah, Van Heck, pick 2. O'Reilly and... Van Heck, because I think the other 3 could get benched. Higher priority to transfer out James or Senesi. I actually think it's James, because Senesi will at least come back and play all the time. James will play the majority, but not all of them. Free hit today, Bin, Semenyo and Bruno Guimaraes for Saka. I'd rather have Saka, yeah. Calafiori and Voltemade and Rice, or Timber, Strand Larson and Eze. I would definitely not pick the one with Eze, because he could be benched. I have Sarr and Pope, both injured and 0.9 million in the bank. Should I sell Sarr and get Rice, play Dubravka, or sell both for -4? Sell Sarr, get Rice if that's who you want, yeah, and deal with Pope later on. I don't think it's worth a -4 to not have to play Dubravka, basically. You talking about what's the chances Haaland ruins your whole season is making me want to captain him. That's definitely being clipped. I know, but to ruin the whole season, seems unlikely, right? Like, it could ruin my week, don't get me wrong. 564 overall rank. Wow, very nice. Enjoy that. Enjoy or Enzo plus Van de Ven to Dewsbury Hall and Van Dijk. I would sell Njai before Enzo, I think, just because of AFCON soon. Eze to Bruno for a hit. Don't hate it. But Eze could start. I think he'll get benched, but he could start. Robert, 30 months. Mateta to Voltamada, crazy. Not crazy, but I don't think I would do it, personally. Even with 4 free transfers. Because you can always do it next week, right? Starting 11 looks fine, but only Anderson cover on the bench. Would you use the free transfer for bench cover for a transfer you plan next week now or roll? If you're 100% certain that is the move you're doing next week and it also benefits you potentially this week, then yes. But getting a Brentford defender for Arsenal away is not great. Newcastle defender, not bad. Salazar out for Bruno Saka, Kiwi skin for life. I actually had a Kiwi earlier today. It was a bit hard though. I think selling Salah is really weird, to be honest, before Sunderland at home. But Bruno and Saka is a much better combination. So that goes down as a don't hate it. Man United scored in only 2 games in the last 5 versus West Ham. Yeah, Haaland had a bad record before he played Bournemouth. Who to bench? Only one. Njai, Enzo, Semenyo, Rice, Thiago, or Mateta? Thiago? Gabriel / Sarr to Timber Anderson -4, or Gabriel to Virgil van Dijk. Probably just Van Dijk if you've got a good bench. If not, take the -4. Free hit triple captain left. No idea what to do. Figure out your free hit and then weave the triple captain around that. So you're probably going to free hit in 15 or 16, I would say, and then triple captain Haaland in 17 maybe. I am playing my free hit and have Salah. I want a captaining because the points differential could be crazy. What do you think? I think if you're willing to take the risk, I like it. I would like to think that I would captain him as well, but the fact he got benched last week might put me off a little bit. But I think he will start. How do you feel about Dewsbury Hall becoming a permanent 7th attacker or rotating with the new MVP Anderson? I mean, he's got 2 bad fixtures coming up after Forest, which is not great, but it's okay, I guess. Another 12-pointer for Dewsbury Hall tonight. He belongs on the wall. Yeah, don't worry. He's getting close. Play Thiago or Road on Thiago. If I free hit 15, then into 16 with 1 free transfer, not 0 free transfer, so I lose 1. If you're going to free hit 15, you should spend all your transfers this week. Like, if you've got moves to make. Opinion, Paquetá to Anderson, counter for Minte. Yeah, it's good. If Minte had gone up earlier, I would have just got Anderson. Van Dijk, Munoz, Kanate, Timber, and Burmo, Bruno, Fernandes, Gakpo, Rice, Haaland, and Mateta on free hit. Thoughts? Yeah, I'm not super convinced about Rice on a free hit. Like, he's a good floor pick, but there's nothing wrong with him. But I probably wouldn't pick him. Kanate also feels a little bit rubbish, but I also don't hate double ups on free hit, so I don't mind that either. What would maybe be more interesting is Kirkes, but I guess you've got a little bit of concern about whether he starts. But on a free hit, Kirkes maybe? The problem is he'll come on for sure if he's benched. So yeah, it's fine. Start Elliot Anderson or O'Reilly. Probably Elliot Anderson against Wolves, I think. What do you think of Lamens considering Lissandro's? But I just probably wouldn't go there. I don't think Man United defence is good enough, really. Go for Haaland as his stats are against Bruno. Are they? Should I bench boost with this bench? Dubravka, Dewsbury Hall, Richards, Estev. If yes, I need to bring in Richards for Senesi. I don't think you can bring Richards in this week. Too risky. If you could afford Senesi to Chow, maybe, then you could bench boost it, yeah? I think that's okay. Did Petrovic / Senesi to Verbruggen and O'Reilly to make the squad ready for bench boost 17. Very nice. Start Verbruggen or Dubravka. Verbruggen. Richards or Thiago. Richards, I think. This is the problem. He could get benched. If he gets benched, does he come on? It's Burnley, though. I think you've got to risk it. Why is Richards too risky? It's just if anyone's going to get... If Glasner's going to rotate anyone in that defence, it's going to be Richards. Doesn't mean he will. Explain how I don't lose a free transfer if I free hit 15. Use an all in game week 14 still means I have 1 in 15. Which can't be used. Yeah, but it doesn't matter what... You don't... I'm not really sure how to explain it. I don't know what to say. If you free hit in 15, you're going to have 5 free transfers in 16. If you free hit in 16, you're going to have 5 free transfers in 17. Whatever week you free hit, you don't get to use that one transfer you would have got if you hadn't free hit. In Burma in this week, Foden next. Saka for in Burma and start Dewsbury Hall forever. Yeah, I personally don't want to start Dewsbury Hall forever, but I don't think it's the worst idea. In Giant João Pedro to Saka and Guiu, good upgrade. Yes, I would say so, especially with Captaincy Game Week 16. Do I think João Pedro gets rotated in one of these 2 game weeks? There's high chance, maybe not, but there is definitely a good chance of it happening. Best defender 4.2 or cheaper. Mukiele maybe, but the fixtures are not great. Maybe just go cheap with a Stev 3.9 if you're never going to play them anyway. Timber, Anderson, or Lacroix, Minte. Timber, Anderson, I think. Just use your transfer before you activate free hit, but it doesn't. It just cancels the transfer. Is in Burma Minoz, Lewis Miley out Gabriel Barnes-Sarr? I'm not convinced by Lewis Miley, but sure. 5 Newcastle defenders are fit at the moment. I do think Cher will start today, so who do you think will come out of the team? Probably Lewis Hall, and Byrne will play left back. Thiago's not injured as far as we know, but we didn't get specifics from Keith Andrews, unfortunately. Worth taking a hit for Reinders to Minte. If you got no bench, yeah. In Burma to Bruno, nothing to do. 2 free transfers. I mean, I think Bruno's the better long-term pick, but I'm not sure I would. I'm not sure I would necessarily sell in Burma this week. Who to bench? Eze, Semenyo, Rogers, or João Pedro? Eze, because I don't think he'll start, but it's really hard to know. I think Chow will start, yeah. Which Arsenal defender plays this week? Probably Tim. I reckon Timber Calafiori in Capier and Mosquero. Would I captain? I'm not going to captain Mateta against Burnley. I'm losing it. Salah and Voltemade or Haaland and Bruno. I think, honestly, if I was free hitting, I think I would go Haaland and Bruno. I would like to think I would go Salah and Voltemade. I'm not sure I would. If Bruno captain hits, you are looking at a serious big boy rank. Or Haaland just smashes it and the rank goes down, you know? I'm really stuck on Captain Saka or Haaland. Haaland for me. Going against Haaland, Captain Mateta, Saka, Enzo, Saka. Is it time to Enzo? Time to what? Sorry. I could do in Burma and Minte for a hit, both playing bench Dewsbury Hall. So you've gone from, I'm going to permanently play Dewsbury Hall to I'm going to take a -4 so I don't have to play him. My bench is James, confirmed to not start. Senesi, Gay, probably won't. I mean, Guiu, sorry. Should I take a hit to replace you? We've already been through this. Like, you're going to take the hit, so just take the hit. Honestly, I've already answered your stuff about taking a hit for Reece James. And I'm not really sure how I can answer it differently than before. Are you playing like a chicken now that you're in the top 20? Sure. I have both. Who the captain in Burma or Bruno? Bruno. In Burma to Bruno will have to be done anyway. Yes, but it doesn't have to be done this week, I suppose. In Jai to Foden for a -4. Do you think Gordon starts? Yes, I think Gordon starts. I wouldn't take a -4 for Njai out. Are you for sure transferring Minte for Paquetá? Probably, yeah. Allison for a Nick Pope. Currently have Van Dijk. Yeah, I don't mind the double up. I do like the saving on someone like Verbruggen, but Allison's fine, yeah. This is a token of thanks. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Top 20, yeah, I'd love to be top 20. Don't think that's going to happen, though. What's your go-to Chinese order? Probably crispy shredded chicken in satay sauce and some rice. I used to be a chicken balls kind of guy with curry sauce, but not had it for a long time. Does the day the game is being played impact your captain decision? I think it probably is playing on my mind subconsciously, yes. And I yeah. I don't know. Eze or Gakpo? Eze, I think, this week. Up the Saturday. Anderson and Raya for Sar and Pope -4, or just Minte? Probably Minte. Van Het being overlooked as a Senesi replacement. Fixtures are good and cheaper than Chow. Yes, he's just not great for defensive contributions, although I guess Chow is not amazing either. But Newcastle defense may be a bit better longer term. Do you like Gakpo as a punt till 16? Yes. Should I triple captain Haaland tonight or wait for the West Ham game? Wait. Playing the catch-up game, Bruno or Haaland, whichever you think is going to score more points. Honestly, I don't know. Bruno or Haaland. They're both options. Sell Senesi for a -4 or play Anderson. No money in the bank. Play Anderson, I think. Just assume they're both playing today, then decide. Yeah, fair point. In that case, I'd probably go Bruno. Because at least it's over in one go. Benching Dewsbury Hall again. Sick of him getting points on my bench, but he's never worth playing over the rest of my team. I'm definitely playing him this week, but I kind of got pushed into it. If you had Haaland and Salah, who would you captain? Probably Haaland, if I'm honest, but I would like to think I would go Salah. Which two would you start? Thiago, Anthony, Dewsbury Hall. I'd probably bench Anthony out of those, I think. Haaland blank versus Leeds, just pure pain. It was good for me, though. Semenyo or Enzo on free hit? Semenyo. Would you do Salah, Reeds, Senesi to Bruno, Saka 4.5? I think selling Salah this week is just really weird. But Bruno and Saka is probably better. But if you can, I would not sell Salah this week. Oh my God, I forgot you've got wildcard. Honestly, you just do whatever. Yeah, you can wildcard whenever you want. Not sure how you answer all these questions so quickly. You're moving like ChatGPT. Just get used to it, I guess. And plus, I'm obviously missing a few as well. Senesi and Semenyo to playing catch-up. You're not going to catch anyone up with Haaland. Honestly, it's such a myth. Such a myth that you have to go different to do well. Transfer Pope for free or roll and play Dubravka. Transfer Pope for free. Play Rodon on Mukiele. Probably Mukiele, I think. Aren't you nervous the FPL site goes down? It hasn't gone down for a very long time, so not really. What transfer am I doing this week? It's all in the ticker at the bottom. And who to replace Senesi with, Chow or O'Reilly? Probably O'Reilly. Dallo or Van Heck for 2 weeks. Van Heck. Sarr to Minter or Anderson if wildcard soon. Minte. When's the next member stream? Thursday? Yes. Could you share XGC type stat for both Fulham and West Ham? I'm not going to go and look it up now, but I can tell you now, West Ham are awful and Fulham are pretty good. You read half my question and skipped. Yeah, sorry. Senesi and Semenyo to O'Reilly and Gakpo. No, I'd probably just do Senesi to a different defender, I think. Thoughts on Nkapie? Should be nailed until Gabriel's back. Should be nailed. Is the fact Bruno was limping at the end of the Palace game a factor? I think he's fine, honestly. With double United, isn't it enough to go Haaland captain? It doesn't really matter. Because Cunha might not play. So it shouldn't really make any difference, you know? 5 best midfielders: Saka, Bruno, Foden, Minte, Gakpo. I don't know if Gakpo's in the I mean, maybe this week. I think the 5 best midfielders are Cunha, Fernandes, Saka, Minte, Dewsbury Hall. It's just a hunch. Senesi to Calafiori or Sharda to Bruno doing free hit 16. I don't know what to do with captaincy, by the way. I'm panicking a little bit on captaincy. Senesi to Calafiori or Sharda to Bruno doing free hit 16. Free hit 16. What does that matter? Well, if you're doing free hits, you should just get Bruno, I think. Yeah. My tree is up, yeah, and I'm listening to Christmas songs, yeah. Tree's been up since the weekend. Last Friday, I think. 2 free transfers. Pope to Raya, Sarr to Minte. Pope to Raya, Sarr to Minte. Pope to Verbruggen, Sarr to Foden. I'd probably go the Foden way, I'd say. Other than Dewsbury Hall, who's the best enabler? Maybe Lefay or probably more like Anderson. -4 for Minte, Anderson, or playing Jai or Thiago. I would just play in Jai. Why not? Chalobah or Kanate. This week, Kanate. Long term, neither, if that's an option. Gakpo's shooting has been dreadful. I don't know. Seem to shoot all right in game week 13. Captain Mateta, although what he did have so much space. Captain Mateta versus Haaland. Haaland easy. Saka to Bruno for a -4. No. Paquetá to Hudson-Odoi, can't afford Minte. I would just get Anderson instead. Go for the Defcon guy. Do 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 do. Who is the best FPL content creator other than you? That's not really for me to say, I don't think, and it's not me anyway. I've done in Burma. I hope you're happy with the mess. It's your mess, not mine. No double game week this season. There will be in the second half of the season. I'm going to make my transfer in a second because Captaincy's doing my head in. I think I'm going to go Fernandes. I hate it already. I'm just not looking forward to tonight's games now. I can already feel that, like, when is the City game? Is it 7:30 or is it the 8:15? Oh, at least it's the 7:30. Just get it over early. Sarr to Minte done. Would you do a -4 for Senesi to O'Reilly or Marino to Anderson or both? Or just play King and one of Van der Ven and Anderson? How bad with a... You don't need a -12, I don't think. -4 I think is okay just because of your bench. But I wouldn't do both. I guess I'd rather do Marino to Anderson. I think Yorkresh will start up front. Why is no one talking Weefer at 4.9? Isn't he on 4 yellows? Gakpo or Minte? Long-term Minte. This week, probably Gakpo. I'm always looking for advice for the past 3 years now. You've never seen my message. You've got to wait till the 5th year. The 5th year is when it really hits, you know? Is there any news or rumour that Haaland is rested? No. I really don't think he's going to get rested. Play Welbeck or Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson. Why is all the community of content creators in Haaland captain? I don't know. I don't know who's captain in Haaland and who's not, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to make my move because there's only 5 minutes to go. I don't think there's going to be... Like, what news am I even waiting for? Like, Haaland benching? All content creators are on Bruno. Honestly, like, again, subconsciously, the fact he got an 11-pointer last week and now he's playing West Ham probably helps. Said that before. It plays on your mind even if you don't want it to. Like, if Bruno had blanked against Palace, would I be so happy captaining Bruno? Maybe not. Have I even got enough money? Yeah, exact money. Look at this. It's almost like fate. It's almost fate. Salah or in Burma captain? Salah. No City leaks that I've seen. We don't really get many leaks these days, to be honest. Yeah, I've not seen anything. Yeah, not seeing anything. You said Salah won't get rested. I said that last week. I haven't said that this week because I'm too scared to say that. Yeah, nothing I can see. Just took my first hit of the season. Nice. I don't know if I can stay with Bruno captain, you know. Okay, chill out with the super chats now because I probably won't get to them all. That perfect money transfer shows it's all coming up, Andy. Yeah, but obviously I kind of knew I could afford it. And I would have gone early if he was going to go up in price. Things that just fall into place. Yeah, but I would have gone early, you know, so we're all good. We're all good. My wife, 39 months, by the way, thank you. My wife thought I was watching a programming tutorial, and so she heard you singing. Sorry about that. Enjoy for Gakpo, free transfer, got nothing to do. Gakpo 1 week punt, I don't mind it. Long term, I'm still not sure. But Njai's got to go eventually anyway. First bench, Anderson or Ryan is Anderson. Do you actually believe Saka's a viable captain? Yes, but I would go Haaland. I don't know if I can go Bruno. He's differential enough, surely. Even with 250,000 transfers in, his ownership's going to be so low. United lost to a 10-man Everton a week ago, but they also beat an 11-man Palace away from home. Even though, like, Bruno's assists were both a bit... Why Dewsbury Hall? Because the alternative is Anderson. I think Dewsbury Hall's better. The annoying thing about... Okay, here's another thing, right? And this is all stuff that just doesn't matter with the decision. If I captain Haaland, then I want all my players to score. If I captain Bruno, I want 10 of my players to score, and I need Haaland to blank. And that's never fun. It's just never fun. I would play Lacroix over Dewsbury Hall. If Senesi hadn't got suspended, I'd be benching Dewsbury Hall for what it's worth. West Ham are rubbish. West Ham are rubbish. Haaland is pretty good, though. But West Ham are rubbish. And Bruno's surely due a goal at some point soon. But then you'd want Bruno to score doubly as much. I'm going Haaland over Bruno. I'm not brave enough to. Yeah, fair enough. I'm an Everton fan who loves benching Dewsbury Hall. Nice. No Paquetá, true. Does that make a huge difference? Maybe. I mean, you just need Bruno to outscore Haaland. Yeah, I know, but like, if I captain Haaland, I can watch the game tonight, and if Haaland does well, that's good for my team, right? And then, even though I've not captained Bruno, his points are still massive for me because he's a differential. I cancelled Bruno after watching you. Thanks. West Ham fan here, and Paquetá getting sent off put me off Bruno captain. We'll park 3 DMs in the midfield. I'm on Bruno, but I also captain invested. Oh, we only got 30 seconds left. Okay. I feel like I should just go. No, I'm gonna. Oh, I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna stick, but I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it. I should just. Haaland, Bruno. I'm gonna go Bruno, but I already hate it. I'm going to go Bruno. Okay, we're locked in. Oh, Haaland just blank. Haaland's never going to blank. 3 games in a row, 3 blanks. I mean, he's pretty much blanked in 4 of the last 5. He did score against Liverpool. Oh, he missed a penalty, to be fair. I'm going against Haaland in 16 as well, Saka. Too late now, yeah. Too many blanks in a row of goals. I mean, Haaland's going to score. I don't really have any doubts about that. If he only scored, like, if you said to me right now, Haaland 1 goal, I'd take that. It's the 2 goals that kills me because he goes straight to 13 points, right? Did Bruno playing later make your decision? I don't know what made it. I don't even know why I've captained Bruno. Those who are telling you to captain Bruno are the same people who criticise you whenever you talk about him, maybe. I kind of want to wait for the lineups, but I can't really stay on too much longer. Bruno's going to... It's going to be horrible. Oh, well. There we go. Is this the second... This is the second time I've captained him. The last time he got a penalty against Burnley. Was it Burnley? Yeah, I think I captained him game week 3. But back then, we didn't know Haaland was going to be an absolute beast this season. Or at least some of us didn't. Welcome back to 100k. Yeah. Imagine if Haaland doesn't start. Haaland's going to start. Come on. I know I said that about Salah last week, but I really think he will. Bruno gets sent off on Thursday. Oh my god, that'll be a nightmare. I've had a red card from Bruno before. In fact, have I had two? No, I had a red card and then it got rescinded afterwards. Which is a bit annoying. I would be shocked if Haaland's bench. If you're going to give him a rest, you do it against Sunderland, right? Surely. Fulham away is not easy. He'll play Haaland. I don't even know. Like, yeah, I can't keep saying it. I don't know why we're discussing it, but I think that just shows how confident I am in that he starts. Haaland could come off early if they go a goal up. I suspect he'll play 80 plus minutes. You watch Mateta get a hat trick. I mean, I'd absolutely take a hat trick off Mateta. Already captain Bruno for 2 penalty misses. Yeah. Yeah. Stop the Sunderland come on. You think Sunderland's a harder fixture at home than Fulham away? Come on. Bruno has a little hamstring niggle and will come off the bench. I doubt it somehow. We'll see. Anyway, I'm off. Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed that, make sure to give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. There will be no knee-jerk stream for Game Week 15 again, but obviously there'll be a few videos before the deadline. No content tomorrow. There's just no point. I might do some content if Haaland gets a hat-trick just to film myself crying. You know those people that do like short videos, like Instagram reels, where they're crying. They've set the camera up and then they've started the tears. I might do that when Haaland does really well. Anyway, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you Thursday before Bruno plays. Let's see what happens. I feel horrible about this. See you later.